WEA newspaper, a cemetery is damaged, causing thousands of dollars in damage. Police say that the two boys tipped over and damaged at least 60 headstones and monuments in Pine Cliff Cemetery. The early morning rampage has police officials wondering why it happened. Police say that it sickens them that children would do this. The two 14-year-old boys did over $100,000 in damage. Now they are faced with what to do. What to do with the headstones that are too old to be replaced. They know the boys cannot pay for the damages, so who will? All the boys had to say about it was fun at the time. Do you really know what your teens are doing when they are not at home? If the answer is no, then you should be checking on your teens more often. What happens if they commit a crime? According to About Juvenile Delinquents, if teen vandals cannot pay for the damages, then the parents are required to pay for them. People then question what to do. According to teenhelp.com, the kids aren't 18, so they cannot be held responsible. Where were the parents when all this happened? But why do troubled teens behave the way they do? What sets them off and makes them different from normal kids? One thing people tend to say is the children aren't 18. Technically, they are not legal adults, so the parents should be held accountable for their actions. Some people think that the child should be held accountable for their actions, but if they can't pay for them, then it's the parents' job to step up and take responsibility. The teens are not 18, but the parents' involvement also has something to do with it. Everyone knows someone's parents that are really involved in their lives. It's better to have parents that care much, that don't care enough, or maybe not even at all. Everyone also knows someone's parents who would rather be at the bar than with their children. According to Eliza Martinez of Everyday Life, a bad home life is said to influence teens' lives, and sometimes leaving a lasting impression. They could also have troubled parents who are in the same boat they are. Teens with troubled parents are more likely to become troubled teens. Another factor that plays in is guidance. The parents aren't there to help guide the children and tell them right from wrong. Parents are like children and are easily influenced by the people around them. Some kids feel like they can never turn to their parents, like there's a lack of trust. When the parents say that their child can tell them anything and then blow up every time they say something, confuses the child to think that they cannot trust their parents. So they turn to other sources, such as bad friends. Another thing that can influence kids is if their parents are divorced or not together. High school dropout rate for kids with divorced parents is at 35%. Parents are a crucial involvement with their kids, but some kids behave the way they do regardless of what their parents try to do to help. Why do troubled teens behave the way they do? What makes them like that? One factor that influences is that the brain is still under construction, meaning that the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for helping you make the right decisions. Another factor is that the kids don't have good judgment. They can't tell what is right and what is wrong. One of the strongest influences is the shift from parents to peers. Growing up, your parents are who you looked up to. As you grow older, all that changes. Your teens' friends can pressure them to do drugs, and that's when all the criminal mischief takes place. According to Joanne Barker of WebMD, there are so many synthetic drugs that were not around years ago, and it's said that drugs play a major part when the vandalism is taking place. They will take the drugs to feel cool and then get wild ideas to destroy someone's property. There's just never one factor that boils down to everything. Your teen plays a part in how they act. Since we reviewed many factors that make teens behave the way they do, we'll go over what we learned. Where were the parents when all this was taking place? Obviously, they weren't there. The teens don't have enough money to pay for the damages, so the parents have to step up and take responsibility for their kids. If the parents don't step up, this is what your child could be doing for the rest of their life, sitting in jail for actions that they did a long time ago. The parents are responsible until they turn 18. They took the responsibility when they decide to have kids. The parents' influence also plays a major factor in how they behave. If the teens feel like they cannot trust their parents, they will not talk to them about anything. But why do troubled teens behave the way they do? Their brain is not fully developed, so they could be making wrong decisions and not even know it. Also, their friends play a major factor in behaving the way they do. If their friends are involved in criminal mischief, it is more likely that the teen will be involved in criminal mischief too, especially if they are doing drugs before the criminal mischief takes place. Hearing this, I hope you understand that you will be held responsible for your teen's actions if they cannot pay for them.